Hey, sorry, it's been a while, and honestly, I have no valid excuses. I've been lazy and inconsistent, and obviously that has applied to a lot of my New Year's resolutions. So, needless to say, I obviously need to do better and work on the areas that I'm lacking. However, I can proudly say that I have at least made some progress in all 7 fields, though I'm not anywhere near where I was hoping to be by this time. So the obvious first issue was lacking self-discipline and inconsistency with how I went about achieving those goals and doing what I wanted to do, and also underestimating how I would get in my own way to achieve those goals. So instead of feeling sorry for myself, what I'm going to do is just acknowledge that it happened. I don't need guilt. That's not going to produce anything. But what I do need to do is go over and figure out what caused me to not achieve those goals and how do I overcome the obstacles that I put in front of myself. And doing that self-reflection, I came to understand that I really overestimated my ability for self-control, especially in situations with a lot of social settings, how connected I am to my friends, and what I'm willing to give up in order to just enjoy the moment, and underestimated how much my emotions affect how I am and how I control things, especially when enjoying a good moment and pretty much sacrificing my future goals to enjoy that present moment. And that is definitely a huge problem. The other obstacle I faced was set from the very beginning when setting those goals, especially in the financial and other areas, was not taking into account possible outside forces that I have no control in, such as inflation. So that kind of ruined my whole goal for finance, especially trying to earn over 100K this year. So no. Even though that I did not achieve a lot of my various goals, or at least not at certain milestones that I wanted to be by this year, what I have learned is ways to correct those things and be able to change how I do things and how I think in order to achieve those goals that matter the most to me and where I really want to go. So there's a lot that's happened and a lot to go into, and not really going to do that due to time constraints, but I will tell you where I am at right now and where I do want to go. In faith, I have grown to have a deeper trust in God. I am not as anxious about things anymore and just letting go of control of things that I can't control in the first place. However, I do need to get better about obedience, not so much to the magisterium or the church, but to the guidance I feel that God is leading me to, because again, I feel okay with letting go of control of things that I can't control, but I do need to control the things that I can control, and that is my choices and actions. So definitely better about obedience in that sense. With friends, I am actually a lot more realistic about different types of bonds, different levels and connections. But what I do need to improve on and want to improve on is setting up healthy boundaries, because in the end, I need to do things that are in my best interest with taking in consideration their needs and wants, but sometimes I'm only meant to be there for a season, and I have to remember that, and I need to do what's good for me, so overall I live the life that I'm meant to live for my purpose and reason for being alive. With fitness, I've actually done okay. I have fat loss, improved in muscle and everything, and I do like the changes I see in my body, especially compared from January to today. It's little changes that I see in the mirror and everything, and I have grown in self-confidence and self-esteem with that. Some friends would say arrogance, but everyone has different points of view about levels of confidence. However, I should have been in a better place fitness-wise. The issue was lack of self-control when it came to food, dieting, alcohol, going out. So working on that so that way I can get to my fitness goals, hopefully by my birthday. When it came to finance, honestly, doing well when it comes to investing, making sure I do that and take advantage of the inflation situation. Don't get me wrong, I feel for those who are hurting and everything, and I do want to try to eventually teach people like, hey, this is how our financial system works, etc. But right now, it's a great time to invest when inflation and stocks are pretty much on sale. So if you haven't yet, please research into that. If you want to, send me a message and I'll let you know the links that I use. The other area of finance that I personally need to work on is budget control, because I have a budget written out and everything, but I just will go off and buy things because I'm feeling like it, or I want to eat out instead, or I cover for my friends and other people when I probably shouldn't. When it comes to education, I'm actually doing really well. I have daily learning and learning so many different fields of life, which is awesome. However, I need to be better about applying the good knowledge that I just obtained and making it applicable to my life. So that way it's just not sitting there like a bunch of good ideas that really have no use if it's not going to be acted upon. Career-wise, I'm doing okay. I re-enlisted in the Navy for the last time, so 5 more years and then I will be retiring. That was a great experience. When it comes to social media, the career that I want to do after the Navy, I definitely need to get my ass moving and pretty much start doing that. So starting up again, so making small progress, but definitely can be better. And the last one, romance, which I think a lot of you are going to be interested in. Unfortunately, I have nothing to report about that. I do have a lot more confidence in my looks, which will probably help me be able to approach one day. Unfortunately, I don't think my crush is here anymore. I haven't seen him in the gym for a while, but me forming crushes is not a hard thing. And I really do believe that God has a great plan for me and a great partner out there for me. I just need to get my shit together, because I can't be someone else's other half until I have my half pretty much sorted out. And it's not his job to pretty much pick me up and fix me. And I would say that the biggest change that I did to my whole process was, instead of doing main goals that are set by the year or some kind of time limit, I'm allowing for flexibility, because situations change, things change, and sometimes that requires a main goal to change. What I will focus more on is monthly goals of where I want to get, and thus put that time frame on there, because it's shorter time, easier to adjust if need be, and flexible towards that main goal. And then heavier focus again on weekly goals, where I have to apply daily discipline to be able to achieve my end of week goals. So that is the main thing I'm doing right now. I think it should help out, and we'll see in a couple months if I'm more consistent with the various goals and making progress and proof via YouTube of whether that process works or not. So if you were asking why Startup Again, it's been a couple of months, it's July, you don't have a consistency thing, and you're correct, I don't. It's kind of goes against the whole being vulnerable and honestly my pride to get in the way. But I really do believe that this is my calling. I mess up, but my calling is my calling, and this is my life purpose. And luckily, I have been blessed with amazing people in my life who pretty much encourage me or harass me. Everyone has different ways of being able to remotivate me in a different way. But I was like, you know what? This is part of the brokenness that needs to happen, is life gets in the way and nothing is ideal. However, if you do find your purpose and what your calling is in life, that you should pursue it no matter what. The other thing is that I found again the motivation that made me want to do this in the first place, and that is to be a role model for young religious queer people that I never had growing up in the 90s and early thousands and 2010s, because it's complicated when you have a deeply held belief and those beliefs and the system of those beliefs are in conflict with an aspect that is deep and essential to who you are. So what I would love to do is be able to show them my life experience and how I think about things, so that way that they can have a holy, healthy, and joyful lifestyle that inspires them to find their purpose and unlock their full potential. So if you stayed this long, thank you so much. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that your life is extremely blessed. And I just want to say thank you for continuing to follow my journey. And until next time, be blessed.